All right, welcome everybody back to the Lantern Sports pregame show. I'm your host, Kevin Lapka, alongside Casey Smith. We've got a Saturday matinee between number 9 Ohio State. Dropped a little bit in the rankings. We'll talk about that against Tulsa. 3:30 kickoff at the Shoe. And Casey coming off a very tough loss against Oregon. Quite a phenomenal game. We were there. The Shoe was rocking. Unfortunately, ends in a loss, but a little bit of an easier opponent here as they go up against Tulsa this week. Do you think they have a good chance to rebound against Tulsa and the Golden Hurricanes?
I think so, Kevin, especially with Mayan Williams at tailback there. Ryan Day said that they were not a balanced team last week between the passing game and the running game, and you could see that with Mayan Williams, only 14 carries, 77 yards, headlining that Ohio State backfield. C.J. Stroud, he went off for 484 yards, and I think the magic number for Ohio State's success is 200, Kevin, because last time Ohio State won where they didn't rush for over 200 yards, the 2019 Big Ten Championship. But then again, J.K. Dobbins had 172 that game, so he was really toting the rock that game. And last loss where Ohio State rushed for more than 200 yards, 2013 Big Ten Championship. So it's been a while since Ohio State has not gotten the job done and ran for over 200 yards. So Mayan Williams being the feature back, I think he's going to really play a key role in this weekend's matchup.
So that's the threshold, really? 200 yards you're going with?
Yep, 200 yards. That's what they need.
I think you're right, but I still think this game is largely about the defense. And that was evident last week. You know, no takeaways against Oregon, allowed 505 yards of offense, 177 yards for the starting Oregon running back and 2 touchdowns. And now you look at Tulsa and what they provide from a running standpoint. Kind of an up and down season for Deneric Prince, but through 2 games, you know, he's got 8.2 yards per carry, 185 total yards, and 2 touchdowns. So another running threat comes to Ohio Stadium, and that's why you have to pay attention to the Ohio State defensive front. Who steps up? Haskell Garrett, the guys along that defensive front. How will they perform? They have not been winning the line of scrimmage these first 2 games, even against Minnesota. We have to see them win the line of scrimmage against Tulsa this week.
And to your point, Kevin, Deneric Prince, looking at the splits between home and away, over 10 yards a carry when he's at home. On the road, just a little over 2. So it'll definitely be important having the crowd there behind the Buckeyes defense to be able to stop Prince in the running game of Tulsa.
And if you look at the next slide here about rushing yards allowed, you can see per game, Ohio State ranks 111th in the FBS. Tulsa also not great, 62nd with 149 yards per game, but 236 yards per game. That's a lot for Ohio State to be allowing there. So that's why when I allude to what that Ohio State defensive front needs to do, they need to shore up that number because they are certainly more capable than 111th in the FBS in that area. But going to be an exciting game nonetheless. You know, you get that afternoon game. The fans were rocking, like I said last week. They'll be rocking again this week, and we'll be there here at Lantern Sports, Lantern TV. Be sure to follow us on all socials, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. We'll have a highlight show and analysis out after the game. Be look out for our stories from our editors, Jacob and Jack, after the game. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys next week. This has been the Lantern Sports Pregame Show for myself, for Casey. Take care.